Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 66 on my countdown to retirement. So today my brother-in-law had his cardiac catheterization procedure, and they ended up inserting 3 stents. So obviously he had some amount of blockage. They released him about 6:30 tonight. I was really surprised that they didn't keep him overnight for observation, but he's home resting now, so it is what it is. And then I got my mom in on both the 13-week and the 26-week T-bill auctions today. The investment rate on the 13-week ended up coming in at 3.818%, down from 3.90% on the last auction. And the investment rate on the 26-week T-bill came in at 3.760, down from 3.781 on the prior auction. And the last of the auctions that I want her to have something on is the 17-week that will be going off on Wednesday before the Fed announcement regarding rate cuts. And that the last auction for the 17-week went off at 3.834%. So presumably she'll get something a little less than that. And then I had been watching videos that Tina has been putting out from This Is Our Retirement, the prior Tina and Norm channel. And one of the things that she talked about since Norm's passing was the fact that not intentionally, but all of the things that they used to do were on a credit card that was where Norm was the primary person and she was the secondary. And they had her travel insurance on there. They had all the bills set up to be paid on there through automated payments. And so she said it was a real challenge when Norm passed to get everything swapped over, and she ended up losing the travel insurance. So after hearing that, that's a similar situation with my wife and I. Almost all of the bills are set up on a card where I'm the primary. Our travel insurance, all that stuff is set up across my card. So, I went out and I was looking at what cards are equal to or better than the card I already have. And the answer came back, the Citi Double Cash card is as good or better than the card I currently carry. So I sent the link for my wife, and we're going to, over the next day or two, I'm going to go in with her and make sure she can apply for that card in her name as the primary, with me being the secondary. And then we'll split up a number of the key items that we automate for billing across the 2 cards. And she'll have, obviously, credit that will be accumulating in points and stuff each month. And we just use the points that then pay down the credit card, so it's no big deal. But in any event, she'll have something. So should something happen to me, she won't have to worry about having to cancel the card and lose a whole bunch of stuff that was associated with me. She'll be able to just then go in and, pick up whatever the accounts were, transfer that over to her card, and, move on, and vice versa. Since it's already, most of the things are under my name, it doesn't matter. Like, if she were to pass before me, I wouldn't have any of that stuff to swap around. But, I don't want her to have to go through the gyrations that Tina talked about in her videos should I predecease her. So I sent her the link to take care of that. Then today it got cool enough, so it stayed down in the upper 40s. I think the high may have hit 51 today, but it was in the mid 40s to high 40s most of the time. So I ended up putting on the heat for the first time this season because my wife was getting cold. And so, I pretty much set it at like 72, and she was fine with that. And then I started thinking about, my exit at the end of the year and the thank yous that I want to be able to, send to people for their assistance over my career. And so I went into LinkedIn today and pretty much went through for all of the different jobs that I've had, with a couple of rare exceptions that I didn't want to include. But outside of, I went through all those jobs and tried to highlight and recall all the people that had helped me over my career. And so I've worked for, at least the ones I care about, I worked for 9 companies, actually more than that, but 9 companies that I cared about. And over those 9 companies, there's at least 133 people that I've documented that helped me, advance through my career, over the last, whatever it's been, 40 something years. So I put those all in a document by company or whatever, so that I've started to think about how I want to frame my goodbye note and all the people that I want to say goodbye to. And then I kept getting flagged by Filmora when I do these videos at night that they have updates and whatever, and I wasn't keeping track of all the different versions that they've been upgrading, but they finally released a completely new major number, going from Filmora 14 dot something to Filmora 15. So I broke down today and updated the video editing software. So I'm now running Filmora 15. And then for dinner, my wife wanted something simple, and she asked me to make just a hamburger. And so she got a hamburger, but really what she ended up getting was a deconstructed cottage pie. So I just didn't want a burger by itself, so I ended up taking a burger. I made 2 russet potatoes, which I smashed down into mashed potatoes, and then I got peas, and basically layered that around the the hamburger that she asked for, and then I did some brown gravy, and so effectively, it was a deconstructed cottage pie. She liked it. It was reasonably simple to make, so that was my day. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.